Welcome to another Burger Commentary video. This video will be my freaking first impression on the RX 7600 XT reviews and the new AMD 8000 APUs and AMD's 5000 GT APUs. So, with the RX 7600 XT, this graphics card launched with absolutely no hype. AMD's like, this is fine. With this, so RX 7600 XT, this is basically an overclocked RX 7600, and give it 16 gig of VRAM. Voila, there you go. That's the 7600 XT. The only use case for this is, well, if you're a 7600 XT gamer and you're like, hey, I'm running into the 8 GB VRAM, the 16 GB variant is a very viable thing if you can afford it. And yeah, this is the card I think people are gonna currently right now isn't gonna be like, yeah, this card's worth it. But in the long term, if you want, in my opinion, this RX 7600 XT, this card you buy once and then you just last very, very, very long time. Just like how when the RX 5 480s 4 and 8 GB came out, people are like, why buy the 8 GB edition? Until later down the road, and what you get, that's right, that 4 GB became an issue and the 8 GB didn't have any issue. So I guess this is the same thing as the 4 versus 8 GB situation. And again, I think this card, as of right now, no hype. As time goes on, I think this RX 600 XT is going to be a good investment. Disclaimer, this card is a long investment if you just want to be like plug in and forget. If you're one of those people that's like, I am going to buy one and upgrade like every gen or every 2-3 gen, this is not a card for you. This graphics card is a card that you buy and you just like for 10 years, fucking 10 years, and just forget about it and don't need to upgrade again for another 10 years. The other thing that AMD has launched, the 8000 APU, these APUs is for first time in a long time for desktop APUs. We are finally both getting the latest CPU architecture and the latest graphics architecture, and is no longer just keep refreshing the previous generation Vegas and RDNA GPU, and we are on the same graphics card as the discrete card generation. So these APUs are no longer just we're there for troubleshooting or basic display output. These 8000 APUs, while the 8700 and 8600G, they are full-on graphics card and integrated that can actually do things. And they even have an AI accelerators for AI purpose and for purpose that will accelerate workload that uses the NPU or the Ryzen AI. Do I think this has a market? The 8000 APU? Yes, yes, yes. Is in a very niche environment. And again, this is a very high performance desktop environment. And yeah, the other two CPU they launched, the R580 500G and the R380 300G, these APUs, they were not given any reviews, but however, from what I can see on paper, these are really, really just those office low performance PC that does Microsoft Word and all these typical thing as these. Also, APUs are interesting due to the fact they use Zen C cores, which are lower clocked voltage lockdown cores, which are as just like their competitor. These cores are there to be really, really, really efficient. So if you really just need like those officers that are like, or just someone who's like, I just want an office machine that uses like really, really low power consumption, this 8500 and the R3 would be a viable choice depending on what you're doing. But I think AMD made the right choice by only selling the 8500G as the R3 8300G. Yeah, that might even struggle with, some of the word browse like workload with only one full Zen cores and basically three Zen cloud efficient cores. Overall, the 8000 series is making an impact, and it shows how to really launch an APU and how high performance APU on the desktop segment, and as well as, hey, here's how you actually make a CPU that has efficient cores and how to do it. You don't go take different design, you use the same design. All you have to do is lock down the voltage and lock down the clock speed. The last CPU that did eventually launch is the refreshed 5000 APU. They called it the GT series. I really can't. Again, I found no reviews of this, so let me give you an impression analysis on it. The GT series is brought out to the table due to the fact manufacturing, as time progressed, manufacturing improved. These APUs got better, and you know what happens when manufacturing gets better. That's right, the clock speed goes up. I guess the AMD's like, hey, we might as well try to we can't have a higher margin for our silicon instead of, lower margin. I guess this is there for AMD. So if you are looking for a AM4 APUs, that I guess this 500 GT series could be a consideration. But other than that, I really don't see the point of the CPUs, as you can get the non-GT version for likely cheaper. And yeah. But if you, for some reasons, like, yeah, we want a little bit more clock speed out of box, like, I don't know, officers, PC that somehow the admins are upgrading, I guess the 500 GT series makes sense in that use case. I hope you guys enjoy my analysis and impression of the AMD RX 7600 XT and the new 8000 APU and the 500 GT series lineup. If you do the typical YouTube like and subscribe button if you haven't, and share the video to grow the community, and I'll see you guys in the next video.